everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Javike here. In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you how to draft and cut a princess dart. It's a very quick and simple tutorial, and I'm going to be using this basic bodice block pattern, our tape rule, scissors, pattern curve and ruler, and a marker. If you are new to my channel and you don't know how we drafted this basic bodice block pattern, click on the video card that just appeared at the top right of your screen. The video is well detailed and self-explanatory. I will also link it up in the description box so you can watch it later. So after watching it, you go ahead and draft out your own. I have a replica of mine here. I have already marked out my half-inch seam allowance up here, and this is the shoulder measurement divided by 2, 15 divided by 2, 7.5 plus half-inch or 1 inch. The shoulder slope has been inserted. Next is the armhole, and to get the armhole, I am working with bust 36. 36 divided by 6 plus 1.5, 7.5 inches. I marked the 7.5 on the chest line here. Next, I marked the bust point, which is 10 inches. Next is the under bust. Please, this is not compulsory. I added it because the blouse I am making is very fitted. Next is the waistline, also known as half length, 17 inches, and then the blouse length, 22 inches plus 1 inch or half-inch seam allowance. For the neckline depth and wideness, I used 3 inches by 3 inches. I will go ahead and mark the nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 plus half-inch seam allowance. I will mark it here, mark it here, mark it here, and also mark it here, and I will use my ruler to connect it like so. The next thing I'm going to do is to take the measurement of my armhole curve, because for this princess dart, we are going to be taking in that from the armhole region and also from the waist region. I will go ahead and measure it, divide it into 2, and it gave me 4 inches. If you are drafting directly on your pattern, just add half inch to that. And I marked out 4.5 inches. After marking it out, I will connect it to the bust point line here like so. Next is to take the armhole dart, and I will place my tape rule like so and mark out half inch on both sides, and I will connect it here. But before that, I will come to the bust point like so and then go up by 1 inch. After marking it out, I will then use my ruler to connect it to the half inch we just marked. If you are a plus size, you can use 3/4 or 1 inch for yours. Next, I will extend this lower line because there will be a shortage after making our curves and cutting. I marked it out first and I used my ruler to extend it like so. Next, I will use my pattern curve to draw a new armhole here. After drawing it, I will come over to the bust point line and then come down by 1 inch. After marking out the 1 inch, I will come down to the waistline. For a plus size person, mark out 3/4 inch on both sides. I am drafting for a not so busty person, so I will mark out half inch on both sides like so. If you are making a gown with half cut, you can stop at the waist length. I am making a blouse, so I will also come down to the blouse length like so and mark out half inch on both sides. Then I will connect it from this 1 inch here to the both half inch on the waistline and down to the blouse length. This is me using my ruler to connect it from the waistline to the blouse length and then up to that 1 inch we marked out. Then with my pattern curve, I will place it on the bust point like so, and then curve and blend up this area. Guys, this is what the princess dart looks like. Next is to mark out the seam allowance. For the bust area, the round bust measurement I am working with is 36 inches divided by 4, 9 inches. Now we have taken some darts off, and whatsoever was taken out will be added back. So here we took half inch on both sides, making it 1 inch. And when you are joining the fabric, you still need like half inch on both sides to join it. That's another 1 inch, making it 2 inches. Also, to couple slash join your fabric, you still need another 1 inch, making it a total of 3 inches. Now adding 3 to 9 will give me a total of 12 inches. Next, I will come down to the bust point and repeat the same thing. This is me marking out the same 12 inches on the bust point line. Next is to mark out the round waist measurement, but like I said earlier, the blouse on your screen is what I am sewing and it's very fitted. That is why I added the under bust measurement. On your notification bell so that you will be notified the moment I post the tutorial video. If you are interested in the trouser tutorial video, click on the video card that just appeared at the top right of your screen, or you check the description box and watch it later. So I marked out my underbust divided by 4, 7.5 inches, plus 2.5 seam allowance, 10 inches. For the round waist measurement I am working with is 32 inches, divided by 4, 8 inches, plus the 1 inch we took out for the dart, and another 1 inch for joining the darts together, and also another 1 inch for the final seam allowance. That makes 3, and 8 plus 3 will give us 11 inches. And for this blouse length line, I'm going to be using my round low waist measurement. 34 divided by 4, 8.5 inches plus extra 3 inches, making it 11.5 inches. I marked it out, and I will use my pattern ruler to connect the dots from the blouse length to the waist length, up to the underburst, and then to the chest line. Remember, if you are not making a very fitted dress, you go ahead and connect it from the chest line down to the waistline. So guys, I'll go ahead and start cutting. I will cut through the underburst because of the very fitted blouse that I'm making, from there to the armhole and then down to the shoulder line. So guys, I won't be cutting everything out because I want to use this front pattern to trace the back pattern. I have already placed it on another pattern paper that I will be using for the back. I will also add the princess darts to the back. Before I start tracing, I will mark out 1.5 inches for the zip allowance. You can go ahead to use 1 inch or 2 inches for yours, and draw a line on it like so. I will now go ahead and start tracing everything out from the armhole down to the sides. Trace everything out carefully and very well so that when you take off the front pattern, the measurements will still be accurate. After taking off the front pattern, I will use my ruler and marker to make those lines very visible. As I am ruling the lines, I am labeling it as well. Also for the back, we need just the chest line and the waistline. Then if you're making a blouse, you now go ahead and add your blouse length. So this right here is the back pattern of a basic bodice block. Do not forget to check the description box for the well-detailed video on how it was achieved. For the back neck, I used the same wideness as the front, which is 3 inches, but for the depth, I used 1 inch. For the back princess dart, just place your tape rule like so, measure your armhole and mark out half of it, plus extra ½ inch. After that, next is to connect it into the dart. So I'll get my ruler and connect it like so. And to avoid it being pointed, I will bring in my curve and blend/curve it very well. The next thing I'm going to do is to use my tape rule and extend this armhole dart line by 1/4 inch. This is because of the measurement that will be lost after cutting the curve. I will get my curve and draw a new armhole from the line we just marked. Next is to add the seam allowance to it. We did not take any dart from the back armhole because there is no bust at the back. So all we need is ½ inch on the both sides to sew it after cutting it. That is 1 plus the side seam allowance, making it extra 2 inches. And I will add the 2 to 9 to give us 11. And I will mark out 11 inches on the bust point. Remember to mark it after the zipper allowance. Then for the waist, we took ½ inch dart for the both sides, making it 1 inch. Another 1 inch to join it back together, making it 2. And then 1 inch side allowance, making it 3 inches. Adding 3 to 8 to give us 11 inches. And I will go ahead to mark it out. And for the blouse length, 1 inch for the dart, another 1 inch for sewing the dart, plus another 1 inch for the side seam, making it a total of 3 inches. Now adding it to 8.5 inches to give 11.5 inches. I will go ahead and mark it out. I will now use my pattern ruler to connect everything together like so, and with my scissors I will cut it out. So to cut the dart from this armhole dart, I will cut it from here down to the blouse length, and then for the second one I will still cut it from there and then down to this other side. But just like the picture on your screen, I still want to add an opening to the back before cutting it out. As you can see on the video, I am trying to adjust the length of my blouse because I kind of want it shorter depending on what you want. Because I reduced the length of my blouse, I also adjusted the dart. So guys, this is me creating an opening at the back of my blouse. Feel free to play around yours. You can design or create any style of your choice. Guys, it's time to cut, but before that, if you take a good look at our pattern, there is a mistake somewhere. This is accurate, so from here down is okay, but up at the armhole and shoulder region there is a shortage. Probably while I was tracing it out, instead of placing my tape after the zipper allowance to mark out the shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches, I measured it together with the zip allowance, which made it smaller. So please, while tracing or taking the back measurements, make sure to place your tape rule after the zip allowance so that it won't alter your measurements. So guys, I will go ahead and use this extra paper to correct the mistake before we cut it out. Guys, I'm done correcting it, and as you can see, everything is now accurate and okay. I will go ahead and cut out the opening and then the princess dart. Make sure you cut it exactly the way I am cutting it in this video. In case you don't want the back opening, just go ahead and cut out your princess dart, and then that is it for the cutting of the back pattern. And then to cut the front, I will first cut out the neckline like so. I will go ahead to cut the dart starting from the waist up to the armhole. Make sure to cut it the way I am cutting in this video. Please cut out this place before sewing. I left it because of the style of the blouse I am making. So that is it for the drafting of the princess dart. I will upload the tutorial video on how to sew it next week. Subscribe and on your notification bell so that you will be notified. Please give this video a thumbs up, drop a nice comment and share with your friends. Thanks for watching till now. Subscribe here. See you guys in my next video. Bye.